This business makes $164,000 per month. It's got a 288% growth rate, and they sell stationery, basically pens and pencils. And the kicker, the owner spends 5 hours per week running this business. That's an hourly rate of $8,250 per hour, which is pretty insane. Now, did I mention that they're selling it? In this video, I'm going to run through this business with you and point out de-risking and growth strategies for a business like this and what you need to do during due diligence on a business like this. If you appreciate that I'm sharing my knowledge on how to acquire a business like this after looking at and helping thousands of people to acquire great online businesses, please share the love by hitting the like button. It helps me help more people, and I truly do appreciate it. So before you think I'm blowing smoke up your behind, here is the business. It's for sale for $1,176,000, and it has a pricing period of 12 months. The multiple is 40. So what does that actually mean? It means from the average 12-month profit, the average month profit is $29,401. You times that by 40, and that will give you the 1.76. Now, this business is over 1.5 years old. It's not a super young business, but it's also not an old business. These are the assets that are included in the business. And if you're wondering where this is empireflippers.com. I'll put a link to them in the description. You can sign up to them for free. Once you provide that you have proof of funds, you can get access to these listings. And yes, it's safe to provide proof of funds to them. They are a reputable broker in the space that I use and a bunch of my clients use. I've bought from them, clients have bought from them multiple times, and I do recommend checking them out. Check the link in the description. Now, let's look at this, all right? So here you've got different things here, like they've got 66 SKUs, so they've got 66 different products. They're ASINs, Amazon Standard Identification Number, so they've got 66 of those as well, right, for each product. Yes, they're a registered brand. And then the TACOs is total advertising cost of sales. It's calculated, obviously, by total revenue. And their COGS is pretty low, right, cost of goods. So let's look at some of the risks. Firstly, the business, it's not a very aged business, which can be a risk. Typically, you'd like to see something slightly over 2 years, but this is doing exceptionally well for this business. It's got a 288% growth rate and healthy margins of close to 20% profit margins for a business like this. Now, typically for a e-commerce business, the multiples are lower. Now, why is that the multiples are higher for this one? Typically, the higher the multiple, the less risk that's going to be involved with the business. And the reason there's less risk involved with this business is because it's not just an Amazon business and selling all their products on Amazon. In fact, most of their products are being sold off Amazon, and they have a small portion, about 33-ish% being sold on Amazon between US and UK Amazon. Now, the rest mostly being through their Shopify site, which is really good because Amazon typically pigeonholes e-commerce owners to sell most of their products on their platform because they provide great traffic and they provide the sales. But the thing is, when people say they own an Amazon business, typically they don't own the business. I say Amazon owns the business because they can delist your products at any time. So the good thing about this is there's not the risk of most of the income coming from Amazon, coming from a Shopify site. Now, there is some risk in terms of the advertising. They're doing 50% paid social, about 13% paid search, and then also some organic search. But you are getting free search, 10%, and then you're also getting 15% direct, which is really, really big for an e-commerce brand. Quite good. Now, one risk they do have is they've got one supplier located in China. Now, having one supplier, this is single source dependency. If you lose that supplier, then you can need to find another supplier to supply all the inventory. Now, how you de-risk this if you're going to acquire the business is learn more about their supplier and then see if you can find backup suppliers that can provide the same price for the same quality of product or better quality of product for even a better price. Maybe really good way to go as well. And that could help you decrease your cost of goods, which can be not just a de-risking strategy, but also a growth strategy if you're looking at acquiring a business like this. Now, what I would do as well as a de-risk and to grow the business is they got 10% organic search. I would be probably taking some dollars out of paid social maybe and putting into organic search, and then only on the paid social do remarketing into the paid social. So once people have have found you through organic search, through the content that has been created, then tag them and remarket them on the social media, because that traffic is the money spent on that paid social traffic is better because they're hot traffic or warm traffic, because they already know about your brand and they're already looking for sorry. You can call it inventory, but they're also looking for stock. Now, inventory is not normally included in the list price, so you will need to see what inventory they have and then maybe calculate that as well. Now, the risk of doing this with the inventory is you do need to speak to the supplier and work out what the costs are if you can speak to them, and also understand how old is the inventory. You don't want a bunch of pens and pencils that are outdated that nobody wants to acquire, and you also don't want to acquire inventory that hasn't sold, right? And it's probably not going to sell in the future. So you only typically want to buy the top selling products that they have typically in inventory, because you don't want to buy basically a bunch of inventory that they just can't get rid of and you likely can't get rid of as well. One other thing is the buyer should have an active VAT number in UK and EU countries to be able to store these products. Obviously this can be, the seller, and they'll probably be able to help you do that. Now, with Empire Flippers, you can unlock certain parts of the listing. You only get a certain amount of unlocks, so I'm not going to unlock this one for you guys. Also, it's private data as well, and I don't want to be putting too much of this out on the internet for somebody that's wanting to sell this business. By the time this has gone live, it's probably sold, but it's still not a fair thing to do. So what they say with their risks is e-commerce business can be negatively impacted by an increase of cost of goods from the manufacturer. Yeah, of course. But there's so many other risks as well. There's risks like your marketing not working, or risks of your supplier not supplying you anymore, or the risk of your Amazon listing being taken off. Those are some risks, and how you combat those is obviously keep a catalog of different manufacturers that you can use with good cost of goods and great quality products. Also have diversified streams of traffic, not just paid social traffic, and then also make sure that your business on Amazon, the listings are current and you're not doing anything shady or technical words that are trying to sell your product too hard that are not within the Amazon guidelines. Now, managing inventory for work skills, supervising employees, and overseeing advertising campaigns. I dare say they got somebody helping them with their advertising campaigns. If you're take over the business, then you just want to work with that person that is already running the campaigns, because they're going to be up to date with it. Now, you can also look to see if you can find somebody else to do that for you as well, but you want to just make sure you factor in the cost of that contractor that's doing the marketing. So that's that business. That's actually quite a good e-commerce business in my opinion. Now, if we go to Quiet Light, they're really good as well. You can click on buy, and there's a bunch of different e-commerce businesses for sale on Quiet Light, and typically they have really good listings. Now, as you can see, their businesses range anywhere from $50,000 upwards to the tens of millions. We're looking at here, 12.5 mil, and then we get down into lower ones. So let's look at the ones around the 500k-ish range, or 50 to 500k-ish range. So here's an FBA brand, a lot of FBA brands, as you can see. 16-year-old herbal candy business. Herbal candy, that's interesting. 85,000. It's an Amazon FBA business as well. I don't love Amazon FBA businesses personally, because it's Amazon and there's a bunch of risks with them. But the ones that I see that's just e-commerce is quite good. So let's scroll up and see if we can find a good e-commerce business, supplement business in e-commerce. I like that. All right. So let's look at the supplement business first. Income, 242,000. Revenue, 994,000. They're asking 850 for this plus the inventory. So it's a pet supplement, which supplements are great by themselves, but being in the pet space is really good. People typically will go crazy and purchase anything for their pets and their loved ones. 60% of sales are from Amazon, and then 26% on Chewy, and the remaining 8% through the site. So when I look at this on the outset, I see, okay, most of the sales are coming from Amazon, 26 being Chewy, which I know is an affiliate brand. So they've got some affiliate income going on here, and then 8% through the site, which isn't really amazing to me. So there's some risks with that. Most of the sales coming from Amazon. 26% from Chewy is good diversification. I'd rather see far more sales from the site. Spending less than 13% on advertising, which is quite good. And yeah, so quite light. You can check out a bunch of these. Now I'm going to look at one more business for you while I'm here, is the herbal candy business. So it's got a patent. It's $85,000 plus inventory. It's an established brand, right? So it was started in 2008, and they're stress relief candles, which is quite cool. 80% of revenue comes from Amazon US, and the 15% comes from Shopify. So they're getting a little bit more, almost double on Shopify, this one, compared to the last business we looked at. Again, with Amazon, you want to make sure the campaigns are running really, really well. And if you've got somebody helping you with those campaigns, if you're not a digital marketing expert, that'll decrease your risk. What they're doing here is they're selling the business by showing the demand for these types of products. That can help, but you're not buying the business based on opportunity alone. You should be buying the business based on what amount of risk it has, and any opportunity I find typically is a massive bonus. So we need to prove the business is a bad business. If we can't, then we must invest. So there you have it. There's 2 different marketplaces you can buy great e-commerce businesses from. Obviously, don't rush out and buy one of these businesses without knowing how to buy a business. If you want, I can give you my due diligence framework for free. It's what I use, it's what my clients use. It's help people make millions of dollars. It's help people save millions of dollars. And you can get that at buyingonlinebusinesses.com/free resources. I also have a link in the description. And if you have any questions for me, guys, please post them in the comments and I can create content around that for you. Or if you want to reach out, say hello, info@buyingonlinebusinesses.com. I'm here to help you guys acquire great businesses, replace your income, and or build a great portfolio of businesses so you can become more financially stable. Hey YouTube watcher, what's up? It's Jared Krause here, and if you watch this video up until now, I'm sure you liked it, so please do me a massive favor and hit that like button. I'm really glad that you liked the video. Also, thank you so much for watching. I also want to ask, please consider subscribing, because now is the time, because I'm pouring more of myself into YouTube to creating better content for you, stories, polls, more amazing content, more surprise and delight, and this is the time to subscribe. So I hope to see you on the next video.